I was a student in high school, and all of my life I was living in Birmingham, Alabama. So I experienced all the racism, or colored only water fountain, colored white only toilets, and all of that. And my mother and my parents, they just, my mother worked as a domestic uh, care and labor, and my father worked in a plant. And so they worked for white people. My mother did all the time in the homes. So she would prepare foods for their children and their parents, and she would clean their house, but she couldn't sit down and eat with them. Why? Because she was black. So as we would go shopping, go into different places, we was only allowed to get our food, but we couldn't sit down and eat the food, And so that I saw this all of my life, and so we were told that we was going to make a difference. Uh, James Bevel, Reverend James Bevel, Martin Luther King, and all of them, they got together and they said, well, we can use the children to make a change. So we knew about it. They told us different things in codes on the radio station, and they told us about we were going to march downtown. And first we had to go to 16th Street Baptist Church, and when we got there, they took our names and our address and our next of kin and all that stuff, because they told us it's a possibility that we would be arrested. So we left off the school grounds. Some people went through windows and everything, in any kind of way that we could get off the school ground, because we were told that we would be expelled if we went off the school ground, but we went anyway. Because at that time, me, myself, seeing all of this and just thinking that, why I can't go this place, why I can't do this, I was just really just fed up. So when I had the opportunity to make a difference, I was ready to go. So we went to 16th Street Baptist Church, and then we went out in the streets, and we were singing things like, "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around," and we just hit the street marching, doing sit-ins and all of that stuff. And of course, we encountered the police. At that time, Bull Connor was the commissioner. He was hiding in his tank and sending the police out to arrest the kids. So the dogs was there and the water hose. And I did experience all of that. The water was very strong. It would knock us to our knees and literally take the skin off you. So what they did, they arrested us. And I was put in a paddy wagon, taken to juvenile court and progressed there. And once we were progressed, we were taken to the fairgrounds, because we was just the children, and the jails was filled with most of the adults. They didn't have room for us. So they took us to the fairground. I stayed in there 4 days, But it was just amazing that the impact that it had by using the children. The whole nation saw what was going on, and if they could attack the children like that with dogs and hoes and stuff, it was time for a change. It was time for a change. So people were just outraged about what was happening in Birmingham, Alabama. And because that happened in Birmingham, Alabama, it made a change all over the world, And I said, why are they doing this? I mean, I thought we were just children, but they didn't care. But after doing all of that, later on, we, as you all experienced the other night, we go around in different schools and we tell people our stories. We go to schools, we go to the libraries, we go out of state and all around, telling people what went on in 1963. I got the courage by leaders really telling us that we can make a change. And by them telling us that we can make a change, me being ready for the change, because I was just sick and tired of being sick or tired of what was going on in Birmingham, Alabama. So I just had the courage. Now, once this happened with the dogs and the water hole, of course I was frightened. But before then, I was just ready to go. I was just ready to do my part or whatever I could do to help make this change. But it was a little scary, but by the grace of God, we survived it. We survived it. And it made a little difference. Well, including leaders, like I said, like Reverend James Belver, Reverend Shuttleworth, and all the other people that was in charge and had an impact. Reverend Martin Luther King, even though I didn't meet him personally, just listening at them talking and know what they stood for, even though we was children, it empowered us to kind of feel like a change can be made because they said so, and they was when we saw what they was doing. Reverend Shuttleworth Church wasn't too far from me, and I always knew of him about the bombings. How they bombed his church, they bombed his home more than once. How they bombed Smith and Gaston Motel, Attorney Arthur Show's home. We knew all of this, So it kind of like told us it's time for a change. It's time for something to be done. So we just went. Felt like we could make a change. And like I said, when we first went out, we didn't have any fear. We didn't have any fear. We were just ready to go out and do what we had to do. Well, just thinking that it would make a difference, that we just have to feel like we could have an impact on what was going on in Birmingham. And then we believe the leaders that told us that we could make a difference. Because the adults, they would lose their jobs if they went out. They had to work to take care of the children. So when they got through talking to us about what we were going to do and why we was doing it and the consequences and things, we were still, feeling good about doing what we had to do. Because somebody had to do it. So they explained to us really, really good why we was doing it. And we knew why we was doing it because, like I said, I experienced this all my life. Even like we have police brutality now, but even then we had police would just arrest you because you were walking the street and you was black. One thing you could do is just register to vote so you can make a change in leadership, and you will have a voice. Tell them, take opportunity of all the things that's afforded them today. You can go to school you want to. You can have any job you want to. You have a lot of advantage, today. And we just encourage them to be who you can be. Just pull up the pants, look like somebody, act like somebody, and go after what you're looking for. Just pursue it because you can do it. And get an education. Stay in school. Well, I've seen a lot of difference in leadership, difference in jobs. There's jobs that we used to couldn't fill. Even though we had qualifications, we couldn't fill those jobs because we was black. We have opportunity now to work anywhere we want to serve in any capacity, whether it be professional or political. And it has made a big difference. All you have to do is just equip yourself with what's necessary and pursue whatever field you want to go into, whatever opportunity, because they're out there now. So one thing, we want to keep what we did alive. You hear people say, that's in the past, forget about that. But no, that is history. Our stories need to be told, but you need to know what went on, even adults. I have traveled to the temple in Chicago, Illinois, to tell my story. We had a documentary of Mr. James Armstrong. He was a barber here in Birmingham, Alabama. They told his story because his children was the first one to integrate Greymount Elementary School. They was beaten and spit on and all of this stuff. So they told his story and the impact that he had by sending his children to the white school. So what they did, they sent for some foot soldiers, Charles Avery and myself. We went to Chicago. And they showed this movie about the barber of Birmingham. And then we talked to the kids and adults and told them the part that we played during the Civil Rights era. So we went to Chicago. We do small documentaries. Danny Glover came down once to 16th Street Baptist Church, and we did a documentary with him. So any opportunity, even the Unitarian Church in Birmingham, it's a white church that have a few blacks in there also. So any opportunity that we have to tell the story of what happened, we do it, So I've even had some students to call me from Hawaii to do a phone interview. Believe me, people wants to know about the history. And what is so, to me, what is so wrong with people telling the story, maybe I said not telling the story. They want to tell it during Black History Week. And so the rest of the time, they don't talk about it, like it's not history. But in February and during Martin Luther King birthday, everybody wants to talk about civil rights in 1963 in Birmingham, Alabama. Kids call me for interviews, teachers call me for interviews, and not only myself, but other foot soldiers. So that's why I say we do it because it needs to be told and need to continue to be told. I'm proud of what I did, and I feel like I said it made a little difference, and we can make a difference in what's going on in the world today too. And we can do that by doing the best that we can, making an impact, and then most of all, with love. You have to love people. Keep on reading, listening, learning all that you can so that you can make a change. I mean, you can't make a change and know your rights if you don't study your rights or you don't try to know what's available to you. And then you have to go out there and try to help make a difference because even though you have rights and sometimes people try to not afford you those rights and things, you have to go out there and pursue them. Just have to go out there on faith, trust, and take the Lord with you and do whatever you can to help make a difference. I've seen some changes. As I said before, I've seen changes in the way people treat people. I've seen that a lot. We still have some ways that's not appealing, but I've seen a great change in love. I see white people loving on black people. I see them loving on Hispanics. I see black people loving on white people and Hispanics and all nationalities of people because I think people now, we still have a few haters or whatever, but we have a lot of people that believe in loving one another and treating people right. There's not all bad whites, not all bad black people. We got some loving, kind people. And so now a lot of people, they are learning more and they are feeling more empathy and love toward one another, and they're actually showing it. Know what's available and work with one another, and continue to work with one another and empower yourself. And like if you know something that could help make a change, make sure you put it out there, meetings and different conferences and things like that on your job, in your church, wherever you are, just let people know what's going on, let people know what can go on, and let people know that you're willing to let them be involved in what can be done to make change and keep change going so it'll be beneficial to everybody. That was the biggest impact in my life was going to jail. Like I said, I was 16 years old during that time, so they were having mass meetings every Monday night, and they would sing the choir that I'm a part of now, the Carlton Reese Unity Choir. That was the choir that would sing every Monday night when they would have mass meetings and they would have people out watching for the police and the Ku Klux Klan planting bombs and stuff. And at that time, I didn't go to the mass meetings. I joined the choir later on. So my impact in the civil rights was just leaving the school ground and marching downtown, doing the sit-ins and singing freedom songs and going to jail. But after that happened, like I said, I've always been involved. I continue to be involved. Like I work a lot with NAACP. We do things with them, the Civil Rights Activist Committee. And so they always call us sometimes for songs and stories. We have a lot of educators come here every year, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And they like to know more about the civil rights and what happened, so we tell our stories, sing freedom song when they come. So we are always involved in something, putting out there, the history and what happened during that time. And most everybody's story is a little bit different. Somebody can add something to, the meeting that some other people didn't add or didn't do. I have a passion for what I do. I have a passion for keeping it alive, telling my story. I have a passion for just letting me, like, for instance, when you see the kids just walking around, hanging on the corners, not doing anything, don't know how to dress. If they know how, they don't do it, and slang and all this coming up to my. We like to tell our story so they know that they don't have to be like this. Even they can change their appearance, they can change their language, and they can change whatever they pursue and staying in school and like this. I just have a passion for keeping going that if we can make a change in civil rights, you can make a change in whatever situation you're in So we just like to tell people we have come a long way. And so we are still involved. I'm on my way, I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way, I'm on my way to freedom land, to freedom land. I'm on my way, I'm on my way to freedom land, freedom land. I'm on my way, oh Lord, to freedom land. I'm poor, so I hope that wasn't too bad.
Oh my gosh.
So that was one of the songs that we will sing.